Bracketology. I'm Jay Alter, joined with Bailey Lipschulltz. And Bailey, I can't believe it, but SU is in the Final Four, and they face a pretty dynamic Michigan team.
Yeah, big matchup with Michigan. As you see, the biggest matchup of the year so far, Michael Carter-Williams going up against, in my opinion, the best player in the nation, Trey Burke. Trey Burke does it offensively, defensively, very dynamic, as we saw, especially with an ability to turn it on against Kansas 2 weeks ago. 22 points in the second half alone.
How about that shot? It was from 30. He was taking it from the parking lot. Trey Burke, Tim Hardaway Jr., Glenn Robinson III. They definitely have some prolific shooters on their team, but they're matching up against SU's 2-3 zone, and you saw what they did against Indiana.
As you said, Indiana, big 2-3 zone matchup against another Big Ten school, but with the height, they're going to be able to shut it down. 6'6" MCW, playing against 3 freshman starters on Michigan's lineup. It's going to be a showcase for Syracuse going to the finals.
Now, Jim Boeheim has emphasized all week long that it hasn't been just about the defense. They need the offense to step up against Michigan. As we said, Michigan's definitely going to put up a lot of points. Got to rely on guys like CJ Fair, Brandon Trish to get 15 to 20 points and really put up, I think, between 60 to 70 points to get the win over the Wolverines. I'm taking SU. Bailey, you have the orange as well?
Yes, sir.
And now we go to the other side of the bracket where you got Wichita State, a 9 seed, getting to the Final Four against Louisville. Is this just going to be a sweep for the Cardinals?
Cardinals are going to run through the Shockers. Peyton Siva, Russ Smith, way too much to handle. They had a huge blowout against Duke. They handled Oregon 2 weeks ago. Wichita State had an easier bracket. They forced turnovers, but kind of a walk through the park other than an Ohio State game.
Yeah, how about Kevin Ware, too? I mean, Louisville didn't need anybody to play for, and now you get just such a team player down here. Guy's down and he's screaming, get the W, send us to Atlanta. I think Louisville takes care of business against Wichita State. They just look like they are absolutely unstoppable. So now we go to the national championship, a Big East championship rematch. Who do you got, SU or Louisville?
Rematch City, baby. Taking Louisville yet again. As I said earlier, Peyton Siva, Russ Smith, way too much to handle. If the Cardinals get in the hole early like they did in the Big East Championship, they have the ability to force turnovers with that press. Peyton Siva forcing way too many turnovers. He's going to get the pressure on MCW. MCW is going to cough the ball up.
I really think this is the year for SU. 10-year anniversary since 2003. And I think that Jim Boeheim has his team playing better than they've looked all season long. We've said it over and over again. It's all ESPN wants to talk about is the 2-3 zone. And yes, while that's true, I think you got to look at a guy like James Sutherland, Brandon Trish. In their senior year, expectations weren't high. Everybody said this was a down year from last season. But guess what? Fab Melo, Dion Waiters, they're out. Who cares? You got Brandon Trish, James Sutherland, CJ Fair. I really think this SU offense is going to step up and beat Louisville one final time.
Coach Pitino is way too much to handle. His ability to make adjustments in between halves and at breaks, but taking the Cardinals going through.
Well, it's been a crazy national championship run so far. We expect the same thing from the Final Four. Back to you guys at the studio.